Hi, good morning. It's Saturday morning here in England, in the UK. I'm back on this channel, this my YouTube channel. I took a break. I took a break for over a year. Not really done much on YouTube. Didn't have a desire to do anything on YouTube. Last year was a bit of more of like a reflection. I found it very hard to get motivated and having that drive to do more than was necessary. Really, I spent a lot of time at my allotment and clearing out things at home. I've had a massive declutter, and now it's time to get on with the next part of my life. So 2024 coming in is an 8 year. Now my numerology is actually an 8, so this is kind of my year. So you'll probably see a lot more of me, which is not. I don't normally like put myself out here too much on YouTube, but my channel, I want to grow it. I want to make it a useful channel. I want it to be a channel that motivates you, that gives you some inspiration, tips, ideas on all natural things. This channel is called Naturally Libby. I'm Libby, and everything I do, I try and do in a natural way. That's always been my life. I've never been one to take lots of medicine and over-the-counter prescriptions, that kind of thing. So I quite kind of like live that life, and so I thought I'd come on today just to quickly go through a few things that I've been putting in place since September last year. So the first part of this year, of last year rather, was fine. And then came September, something happened in September energetically. There'd been quite a lot of full moons, new moons, and it had quite affected me in September. I don't know why. I can't sort of kind of pinpoint what it was, but something happened at one of the full moons, and I need to look back at the calendar, although maybe I don't. It was just something that happened that shifted me into a different place, and it shifted me to a place that I recognised that I no longer wanted to be on Facebook and Instagram. I wanted to motivate my own self, to self-promote myself through YouTube. YouTube felt my channel to go, but I needed to take a break from Instagram, Facebook, and so on. And it was quite a hard decision because I have a lot of friends on Facebook and I follow them and I like listening to what they're doing and that kind of thing. But I really needed to pull back. I think this video is going to be a little bit longer. I've made myself a cup of tea. So, but anyway, so I made that decision. And then came Christmas time. I decided to go back on YouTube and just send some Christmas wishes, Happy New Year, and that time just to get back into the vibes of what was going on out there. And what I saw was the same old stuff. Basically, there's a lot of negativity on a lot of social media, and I kind of thought I need to get a balance between this. I don't want to be constantly on Facebook, Instagram. I need to get a balance in my own personal life. So I think it was in November, I went to the Mind, Body and Spirit show at Birmingham, the NEC. I met up with a friend of mine and we spent a bit of time together, which was lovely. And we had looked around all the stalls and things. We did lots of meditation. There was lots of yoga, yoga nidras, chanting, mantra. It was beautiful. It's just what I needed to kind of boost myself up a bit. And that was around about November, I think it was about November the 18th. I can't quite remember now. But there were some shifts again, some shifts of energy. There's been quite a lot of different shifts this last year. Anyway, what I'm saying is what I did at that event, I bought a diary. Now, I don't normally buy myself, I buy myself a diary for my work, I'm very old fashioned. I have a file of facts. I don't know if I've not got it here, but here it is. I have a file of facts. Let me just get it. I have a lovely file of facts and it's really battered. It's really tatty now. You know, you can see it's worn. I've had this since about 2000 and I don't know, 2005, 2006 kind of thing. My children bought me this. It's a beautiful leather bound one and they still sell these and I buy the inserts for it, and that's normally for my work. Yeah. And I don't use a Google Calendar because I find I like to write things down, because somebody phones me, I can write it down instantly. If I've got to do it on my phone, I will probably forget and end up double booking myself or not rescheduling somebody. Anyway, so what I did, I bought myself a personal reflective journal type diary, and I've been looking for one, and I went on the Watkins bookstore and at this event, and I bought this book. And actually, by buying this book, I got last year's book. Okay, so I ended up with two. So this one I kind of used up until December. It'll probably be reversed on the mirror, but anyway, that was one. And it's a lovely book, and it's by a lady called Jess Sharp. Now, she created this book, and it's called Everyday Matters, a year of inspiration for the mind, body, and spirit. And it's a really, really good little journal. Now, I've had journals in the past where I've just had paper and pens, and I've just written down what I've done every day. But this one goes a little bit deeper, and I've used it to my advantage, really. So I just want to tell you what I'm planning to do. So on the 29th of December, I held an event in a village near me, and it was called Celebration of 2023. We did a yoga session, and it was kind of going through lots of different styles of yoga. We did some Kundalini yoga, we did some Yin yoga, we did some flow, some Vinyasa flow. I did a sound bath at the end. I've been very blessed to have been able to afford to buy myself 4 beautiful singing bowls this year, and I plan to buy some more this year. And so during that workshop, I actually suggested at the beginning that people take 3 words to give them motivation and give them sort of a grounding or something that they can focus on that keeps them going through the rest of this year. Because let's face it, we're really being challenged at the moment, and we need something to kind of keep us going on our track. And I always do this at the start of every year. I always have either one word or a visualization or something that I can take into that next year. So this year is an 8. As I say, I'm an 8. So my numerology is an 8. My life path is an 8, which is a natural healer. So this channel, as I say, it's called Naturally Libby. So it kind of all comes together, and that's what I want this channel to be. So in my personal diary, I've written my 3 words or my 3 statements. So I've got the energy of love, motivation, discipline. So that's my core value. I need to get myself disciplined. I need to be motivated. And then by doing that, it really put in love, passion, desire, drive, and it really fires you up. That energy of passion and love and energy really fires you up to move you in a different direction. So my last statement is moving forward in a positive way. So that was what I wrote down at the beginning. So it's like a little circle here. So I just wrote around it. So I really scribbled on this book. I put my own stuff in, right? So it's a lovely book. It tells you about public holidays and normal things. It says welcome to 2024, and then it gives you. This is not a review of this diary, by the way. It's just the thing I've been doing. So this is January, and it talks about calm. So it's got this lovely little inspirational words, and it's an affirmation for the month, and then it kind of weaves through the book. So I've been writing down my day and everything, and what's happened. So I've been using it as a bit like a dream journal, a bit about motivation, what I've done today. So I've been trying to write down 3 things that I've done for my business, because it's really important this time of the year to keep my motivation on moving my business into a positive way. So writing down and then making some space in between what I've been doing to create that space to build, to create, to connect with the higher source, the all that is, or the divine, or whatever you like to call it, your higher self. It's your motivation to move that. So anyway, so what I've been doing is writing this down. Yes, that's what I was going to say. So moving on to last night. So I've been writing this down, and then I just came to the end of January page, and what it does, it gives you an overall here, it gives you the month I'm grateful for, and then reflections on calm, and it writes down. So what I've been doing in this little box here, I've made a little grid. Okay, I'll share it with you. I don't know if you can see it, you probably can't see it, but anyway, I'll talk you through it. So it's a Monday to Wednesday for this month, so the 1st to the 31st of January. And what it says is it gives you boxes. Now you can choose what you want to do with these boxes. You can, just doodle what you've done, a special day maybe it's like full moon or something like that. But anyway, what I decided to do, because I work quite a lot, quite frugally, I'm self-employed. I decided to, to step back from the consumerism, and I try not to buy too much stuff, all that stuff we buy, we go out, we come back with bags of stuff. I'm no longer in that space anymore. I want to be more mindful of how much I consume, and I'd like to give that over in this video. So the January overview, the first day, so what I've done no spend. So when I don't buy anything, so it's like yesterday I did buy something. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But for the first part of the month, so Monday, Tuesday I did spend some money, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then today, Friday I did spend, and probably today I'll probably spend, but only a few pennies because I needed to get some things from the supermarket. And then I've got like a little chart here. So I've got here, no spend is a cross. I've got reading. Now this is something I want to bring into my life because I spend too much time, sort of wasting time, and I want to read some books. So my plan is to read a couple of books a month. So I've got here read 20 minutes plus. So when I do read, I'm going to put it on my little chart. So then it shows me how much I've done in the month. Yeah. And then one of my challenges I've given to my students is to do a particular yoga pose for a certain length of time. And this is called a frog. It's a Kundalini pose. And I plan to do 44 of those every day. And I've actually done that until today. I've done my 44 today. And then I've put some other things I want to do. I've put an F here. It's just a little quote about yoga, something that's a frog pose. So that's in there. Okay. And then I can see what I've done through the month. So I've got K here, which means I've done Kundalini yoga every day. I've done my no spend or my spend, and then I've got my frogs in there. Okay, excuse me, I'm just going to blow my nose. Sorry about that. Okay, it always happens, doesn't it? Okay, right. So that's my little bit of motivation. I'm going to have my tea, so I'm going to talk about this now. So last night, now I'm not one to watch television very much. I have a TV license and I don't very often use it. I listen to it. I watch certain programs. I love watching Saturday Kitchen. I love watching Gardener's World and maybe some documentaries, things like that. I don't tend to watch too much. I like listening to BBC Sounds, and Michael Mosley is doing some podcasts which I haven't actually listened to yet, but I'm going to plan on listening to those because they're quite inspiring. And Michael Mosley is the guy that wrote the intermittent fasting book. I can't remember what it's called now, but I think I did have it. I gave it away. So I'm going to make some tea. I'm making space in my day to do what's called MA, M-A. I don't know if it's M-A or M-A-R, and it's a Japanese word, and it means making space to breathe, making space to slow down, making space to be calm, and making that space to observe and listen. And it was all inspired by listening to a TV program last night on Japan with Monty Don. It was the gardens of Japan, and oh my God, they were beautiful. They were so beautiful, and I'm a gardener. And I just was I was just in awe of this fantastic way that the Japanese live their life. And I'm not saying every Japanese person lives their life, but their core values are about this Ma. And every person you spoke to in this park was just so humble. They were so in tune with nature. They were spending time to take off the pine needles of the old pine needles and then expose the actual old bark. And that was part of their, it was meditation. And there was all these guys in the trees. There was hundreds of guys in this park just doing that particular thing. And then there was ladies in the grass just picking up bits out of the moss, little weeds and things, and tending the moss, because it's all moss. It's not, they don't have so much like grass. They probably have a little bit of grass, but most of it is this moss. And now I need to research what moss actually means in Japanese and in what is this, what is the essence of moss, because we rake it out of our lawns every year. We scarify and we take the moss out to aerate the lawn, to encourage the grass to become lush again. So it'd be nice to see why they keep the moss there. So this is creating this thing called Ma. So it's about the tea ceremony and making space, and how they pour the tea and how they put the leaves in, and they look at the leaves, and there's the Japanese flower arranging, ikebana, is it? I can't pronounce it properly, but it was something like that. My friend actually does that, and beautiful displays. You go to her house and there's gorgeous flower arrangements there, and they're all done in this mindful, meditative way. So I'm going to make some tea. I've actually made the tea, but I'm going to show you the tea that I'm using. So I made this tea back in the summer, about September time. And I have a ginkgo tree in my garden. It's not a big tree, it's just in a pot. I don't want to put it in my garden because it is quite big. It gets really big and invasive, and my garden's only small. So I dry the ginkgo leaves. I take them when they're drying, and I take them and I dry them in the house. And then in here I've added some rose hips. I'm not going to dig in there. Some rose hips in there. Whoops. And there's some hawthorn berries, there's rose hips, and there's also some hibiscus, which I love hibiscus. So hibiscus and ginkgo go lovely together. Ginkgo is a lovely herb for stimulating your brain, keeping your brain healthy. We need that at the moment. So, and then I'll show you one of my Christmas presents I got this year. My daughter bought me this. It's a lovely teapot, and I wanted something that I can see the tea and I can see the leaves inside. You can't see it very well because it's gone really lovely pink. I don't know if you can see it. It's this. I'm filming this on my laptop to see how it goes. But this is a lovely little teapot. We don't, for my family, we don't buy lots of presents. We do a Secret Santa. So my daughter had my Secret Santa. So this was one of the presents I asked for. So I'm going to pour the tea mindfully, yeah, and looking at the beautiful colour in the cup, and sort of making it like a ritual with this tea. I've got some honey here, and I've not got much left in this little jar, but I've got a little tiny bit of honey, and this is a case of honey. It is a blend honey with lots of different things in it. I had a little gift set for Christmas, and it's got different flavours in. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in there. It's sort of like one of these 15-year, honeys that's been matured. Okay, so let's push that one aside. So I've got my tea. So what I really just wanted to come on today to say to everybody is make some space in your day to read. Make some space in your day to do nothing without the phone, without chatting to people. Have some silence. One of the things in this program last night with Monty Don, he went into this college that was all about flower arranging, and the people sat in silence. Nobody spoke. They were like looking at the leaves, and they were looking at the structure of these plants, and they were creating all these beautiful things. And there was a lot of that Buddhist approach. A lot of Japanese culture comes from Buddhism, and a lot of it comes from China. So this kind of this crossover. So you've got China that's very oriental and very mindful, and then you've got the Japanese way. But they just bow, and Monty Don says, how do you know how much bowing do you need to do? Because they were like, yes, and then he bowed, and then they were bowing. It just kept going on and on. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but it was a lovely, lovely program. And then he went around some of the gardens where there was some temples, and they were raking, the gravel and making it into shapes, and all mindful. And the guy said, before you start, you have to breathe and then rake. And you can't stop. Once you've raked, you have to carry on. So you can't go halfway, stop, and take another breath. So that breath has to flow all the way along this space, and then you stop, and then you do the next bit. And he showed all the patterns and things in all the gardens. And he was saying that each house in Japan had each house has like their own little garden with some moss. It was all about the moss and creating this feng shui in their houses and the way they place things. So it's all about that placement and that's making space. So that's where I'm going to be in January, and it's interesting because it ties in with this diary of calm. And I'll just read the affirmation for January, and it might inspire you. It says, so this is affirmation. This is from Jess. What's her name again? Is it Jess Sharp? Sorry. And it's a Watkins book. So there she's collaborated with Watson. So this is the calm page. So this is for January. And it says, the affirmation of the month: I am worthy of enjoying a sense of calm in my surroundings. So I really like that. So I'm going to leave you with that. You know, just spend some time for you. And it's I've been doing it for the last couple of days now of just taking a break, you know, physically. I mean, normally people have a cup of tea and they're busy, you know, typing and doing stuff, but they never really enjoy the tea and enjoy the look of the tea and how it you know, how it looks. So just spending it doesn't have to be hours. It just has to be, and then feel the warmth on your hands and the taste. I'm gonna have a little sip. That is lovely. So there's a lot of health benefits in there. So the rose hips are all about heart health. Not the rose hips, the hawthorn is about the heart. The rose hips for the immune system, the ginkgo for your brain. Hibiscus, I'm not sure what hibiscus energy is. I'll have to look at that and tell you when I come back on YouTube. So I'm planning on doing a video maybe once a week. I'm not going to do loads and loads of them, but I want to theme each one, and I want to bring in this sense of taking a breath. Yeah. So let's just put my tea down. So I'd like you we're just going to end with a little practice. So put your feet on the floor, put your hands on your knees, and take a nice long deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let those shoulders relax. Breathe in and take that energy down into your feet. Feel yourself really nice and grounded. And then on the next breath out, I want you to imagine you've got roots like a tree and you're going right down into Mother Earth. And go into that space. And just breathe and be at one with that space. And then take a breath in and exhale. And feel how calm you feel just after doing that. So one thing I'm just going to end with this little bit of thing that I've been doing, and then I'm going to end. So I want to make space for myself to read. So I did go to the library last Thursday, and I picked up myself a book. So this is the book I picked up. It's Kate Grenville, Restless Dolly Munda. It's one of her new books. It's from the library. And I picked a couple of cookery books up, Hairy Biker's One Pot Wonders and Nadia Hussein's Simple Spices. So a couple of cookery books to inspire me, and this nice book. Now, I want to read this book this weekend, and it's one of my books, so I can start my little review of the books that I've read this year. I am not a bookworm. I am not somebody that reads a lot. So this is quite a challenge for me to actually spend half an hour twice a day to read. That's what I put down. In order to do that, I need that space. So what I've done in my little gratitude book, I've put here time away from my phone. Okay. So this morning I woke up and I didn't put my phone on until 9 o'clock, and I allowed myself from 9 to 10 to have phone time, right? That was my time. So if I want to email anybody, if I want to listen to any YouTube videos, if I want to call somebody, that's the time I do it. If they're not there, I can leave a message, right? And then I am not allowed, so we're in this time now, and I'm not allowed my phone on between 10 and 12 and moving into 1 o'clock. So it's going to be 10, 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock rather, is when I have my lunch. So I'm not really going to have my phone until 2 o'clock. And then 2 to 4, I can have my phone and I can watch what I want to do. I can scroll, I can go on Facebook and go on whatever I want. But then at 4 o'clock, the phone gets put away completely put away. Okay, it's no more phone from 4 o'clock. So 4 till sort of that end of the day, I can read, I can meditate, I can have some space for myself. I can go to the TV if I want to, not that I will do, but it's making that space. So that's just what I'm going to be doing, making time. And this is the first day I've done it, right? And at the moment, I'm in no phone time. Okay, I'm on this doing this video for you, but I thought it was quite appropriate to be on this video. I've made it quite long, it's 25 minutes, so I want to end it now because I know videos don't want to be too long because people don't listen to them. I hope you've got to the end of this video, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. I am going to come on here once a week. I'm not sure what day it will be. It's my birthday week this week, so I'll be doing lots of other things, so it might be you know, slotting in somewhere, but I'm going to try and regularly make it a Saturday morning where I sit down, because I don't do too much on Saturday morning. It's my time to kind of just, you know, get ready for the next week. One thing I have done this year, or last year I set in, was I started to swim. Okay, and again, that's making space, so no phone time. So I'm just gradually trying to take myself away from this phone. I'm not addicted to it, but it was starting to creep into my life that I was checking it. As soon as a notification came on, I was checking my phone. Now, when I had my landline and the phone rang, I'd be like, oh, just let it ring. I'll get the answer machine when I'm ready. Yeah. So that's the attitude that we kind of need to go back to. Enough said. Have a lovely rest of your Saturday. If you're watching this this week, please like it. Please share the video if you find it appropriate. But most of all, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I'm trying desperately to get to 100 subscribers. I know people have got thousands out there, but I'd love to get to 100, and I think I'm on 89, so I only need like 20 people, or not even 20, do I? 89, 90, so 11 people to subscribe and to get me to 100 this week. I would be amazed. I have other things to tell you, what I've been buying and that sort of thing, but I'm going to leave it there because it's going to get too long. Have a lovely rest of your day, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.